Time is weird. Some days it moves too fast, other days it drags on like nothing matters. We say we don't have enough of it, but if you ask me where all my time goes, I wouldn't really know. I wake up, I do stuff, and somehow the day's just over. So I decided to find out, what do I actually do with my time? For 7 days, I tracked every single thing that I did. Every scroll, every behavior, every mindless moment I usually forget. And what I learned kind of changed the way I want to live. The plan for the next 7 days is to track everything. The point isn't to spend my time perfectly or to spend my time productively. It is just to be aware of how I spend my time realistically. To track my actions, I'm going to be using the app Toggl. Things I will be doing will be organized in categories. And at the end of the challenge, we're gonna see how I spend my time and doing what. Today's day 1. I've already logged 10 hours. The only problem is that since this is a new habit for me, I keep forgetting to start and stop the stopwatch. So far so good. What the experts say about the time. I am not the first person to be curious about the time. Some people have made it their life's work. For example, James Clear said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." Even Leonardo da Vinci tracked his hours. He once wrote, "Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it." It's day 3 and I've noticed some stuff. I decided to not share any data with you just yet because these 3 days I still haven't been to school, but midweek is when tracking time turns from data into the truth. I've actually noticed that while I am tracking every move, every minute of the day, I have actually been more productive and willing to do things. So I mean, what do I know? Maybe this challenge will become my daily life. But that is that for midweek. The thing I've noticed is that my memory / self-awareness sucks because I once decided to edit my video. Then I needed to find a clock ticking overlay in YouTube, and somehow I ended up watching shorts about bikers for 30 minutes. This challenge is over. I tracked 167 hours and 15 minutes. Shortly, we will analyze the data, but before that, I would like to make a key point for me. We should do this challenge because it helps you realize the value of time and that we don't necessarily know how much we have it. That's a deeper meaning that I found, but in general, it just helps you know where your time goes. Time to dive into the analytics. Probably is the most important part. You could have probably guessed what the biggest category I spend my time on is. Obviously, sleep. Now, this probably is not perfect time of how much I actually slept,
because it takes time for me to fall asleep.
but I spend 38% sleeping. Another category is school. Right now, I spend 10% of my time in school. I went to school for like, what? For 2 days? So technically, if we were to like really calculate, 0.3%, we're gonna multiply by 2.5. That would be 26%. Now, what I was trying to find out with these calculations is basically how much time I would spend at school during like a classic week. Girl math. I think let's talk about the 3 biggest ones right now. Sleep, chill, school, category. So I chilled total 39 hours. For reading, I spent about 25 hours. Pretty impressive actually. And I finished 2.8 books. Next subcategory is prep before going to sleep. I spent 2 hours, 37 minutes. Okay, let's move on to these small categories. 5.73% spent is food. Love food. Oh my god, I spent 9 hours and 30 minutes eating. Next one is places. Places is just like time when I'm going out, and my brother was visiting this week, so we went out a lot. I spent 8 hours, 4.86%. Now another category is YouTube. Total has come to 7 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. Disclaimer, I don't think I've ever done that much YouTube work in a week. The next one is to-do. So the total time for to-dos is 6 hours and 53 minutes. I spent 3 hours and 11 minutes doing my nails while watching Netflix, of course, so it took me a bit longer, but it's fine. And then I also baked, which I never do anymore, but I baked for an hour and a half. I made some pastries, delicious. And then studying, I had an exam. I studied for a total of an hour and 12 minutes, and that's that. Now please take a moment to appreciate this ASMR. Next is bathroom. Bathroom is basically just not each time I went to the toilet. It's basically just when I take a shower, when I brush my teeth, get ready for sleep, classic stuff like that. And the total time I spent in the bathroom was 5 hours and 21 minutes. I'm pretty sure there are like 2 or 3 everything showers in this time. Oh my god, the sun's not catching me anymore. Next thing is getting ready. I went out a lot and I also was in a rush, so I was like eating and getting ready at the same time. So the categories might be a bit mixed up, but in general, I spent 3 hours and 40 minutes getting ready, which not a lot. Next is family, and I'm pretty sure on a normal week I don't spend that much time with the family, which is pathetic because I only spent 3 hours and 23 minutes with my family. I spend even less usually. but I spent 2 hours on chores. Tracking the time like this actually makes me more accountable of the things that I do with it. If I wasn't tracking my time, there was no way that the YouTube part would have been, 7.5 hours? I think 1 week is enough to get some data and face the truth. And honestly, I didn't become no productivity machine during this week. I did not discover 3 hours hidden. I didn't discover 3 hours hidden in my day. I just became a little bit more upfront with myself and honest. This challenge was an excellent way for me to acknowledge how I spend my time, how I want to spend it. And if you feel like time is slipping away, maybe you just need to download some productivity app and track your time for a bit. Because once you see and realize where your time actually goes, you can also choose how you want to spend it.